The moment Officer Lucas Reed Batten slammed into her side, Maya Brooks knew she had seconds to decide. Fight back or let corruption win. The force sent her to her knees, gravel scraping against her palms as she caught herself. Blood filled her mouth, but the pain wasn't what sent a chill down her spine. It was a look in Reed's eyes, the cold, calculated malice. She had seen that look before. It wasn't about upholding the law. It wasn't about maintaining order. It was personal. Reed smirked, his blue eyes gleaming under the flashing streetlights. The way he looked at her, like she was less than human, lit a fire in her gut. What he didn't know, what he couldn't possibly have suspected, was that Maya wasn't just another woman walking home through Westbrook. She was a highly trained CIA operative, embedded on a mission to expose a dangerous underground arms network. She had spent months gaining the trust of the city's most ruthless criminals, working undercover to take down a system that thrived on corruption. And now, because of him, that mission was falling apart. A sharp pain radiated from her ribs as she forced herself upright. Her breath came in short, shallow gasps, but she met Reed's gaze with an unwavering stare. "You think you're tough, huh?" he taunted, gripping her shoulder and yanking her up the rest of the way. "Mouthy little thing like you, walking around like you own this place." Maya clenched her fists, her mind racing through her options. She knew how these encounters usually ended. She also knew how to fight back. But then she saw him, the boy, 12 years old, maybe 13, frozen on the corner, his hoodie barely shielding him from the wind, holding up a phone. His hand was shaking, but the camera was steady. He was recording everything. Maya took a slow breath, calculating. If she retaliated now, if she fought back the way she had been trained, she'd be giving Reed the excuse he wanted to escalate. He'd have reason to shoot. And no video in the world could bring her back from that. So she did the hardest thing she had ever done. She let him cuff her. Reed wrenched her arms behind her back, the metal biting into her wrists. "You just made the worst mistake of your life," he sneered. Maya swallowed her fury. "No, officer, you did." As she was shoved into the squad car, the boy on the corner disappeared into the night, his phone still recording. By morning, the entire world would know the truth. The Westbrook Police Department wasn't a building. It was a fortress. Concrete walls, narrow hallways, cameras watching every move. Officer Reed dragged Maya through the station, his grip so tight she was certain she'd have bruises. Every officer they passed barely spared a glance. This was routine. Another black woman, another arrest. But this time was different, because this time the world was watching. As Reed shoved her into a holding cell, Maya saw the young officer who had been with him during the arrest, Officer Ryan Mitchell. His hands were still clenched at his sides, his jaw tight. She locked eyes with him. He saw, he knew, for a brief moment. She saw hesitation flicker across his face. Then he turned away, coward. An hour passed. Then, too, Maya sat on a cold bench, her body sore, but her mind sharp. Reed had disappeared after booking her, and the station had quieted down. Then the ripple began. Whispers, murmurs, officers glancing at their phones, then glancing at her. Outside, the city was waking up. A video had begun to spread. Jaden had run the moment Maya was taken. His heart pounded as he clutched his phone, racing home. He had proof. For the first time, the truth wouldn't be buried. His fingers trembled as he uploaded the footage. By the time the sun rose, the video had been shared over 10,000 times. By noon, it was on every major news network. By evening, protests had begun. Inside the station, the shift in the atmosphere was undeniable. The captain stormed into the squad room, his face red. "Where the hell is Reed?" The room fell silent. Then, the front door swung open. 2 men in dark suits entered. Federal agents. They didn't hesitate. "Officer Lucas Reed, you are under arrest for assaulting a federal agent, falsifying police reports, and obstruction of justice." The room turned to ice. Reed stood frozen, his face drained of color. "That's ridiculous. She attacked me." Then Maya stepped forward. She reached into her coat, pulled out her credentials, and toss them onto the table. Maya Brooks, CIA, silence. Then chaos. Officers whispered in shock. Mitchell, the young officer, stared at her, guilt twisting in his gut. He had seen everything. He had a choice to make. He took a breath, then stepped forward. I'll testify. Reed, fate was sealed. By morning, the video had gone viral. Protests erupted. People poured into the streets, chanting Maya's name. Other victims of police brutality came forward. Files were reopened. Officers who once thought they were untouchable were suddenly under investigation. And Reed? He wasn't the only one. The rot went deeper. But now, there was no hiding. Maya stood outside the station, watching the crowd. Jaden was there, standing taller than before. She approached him, extending her hand. You did something powerful, she said. Jaden nodded, his eyes filled with determination. As Maya drove away, she knew her mission was complete. But something far bigger had begun. The fight for justice had found new champions. And this time, corruption wouldn't win. The streets of Westbrook would never be the same. The protests turned into policies. The investigations turned into convictions. The city had changed. Not a sweeping revolution, but a spark. And sometimes that was all it took. As Maya drove into the night, she turned on the radio. A voice rang through the speakers. Real change is an instant, but it starts with action. And Maya smiled because she knew this was only the beginning.